Alright, back again and trying other camera angles. That's why I've got this screen pulled up. And as I was saying, these guys are pretty simple. The only thing you have to be aware of in like a two-person run or a solo run is that the rogue shape often, not too often, occasionally casts Dark Force, which causes instant death. I'm thinking 100% of the time, because they cast it on one enemy. And I think that does it for this floor. And it looks like we're done with the ninjas. Right next to an HP pad here. There's the heavy lance. I love this weapon for the warriors. And the reason is the IP. Bomb attack, which you're familiar with from other weapons, but it's so cheap and it nails all the enemies, especially if you've got Dakar or guy in the front row. Big damage. These Tartonas are pretty simple. Actually really simple, and it's kind of surprising that they drop a blue chest jewel, which is the Earth Jewel, so not particularly helpful. But it would be probably in my run here. And there's the Earth Jewel. So you can see they drop it at a pretty nice rate. And that's an upgrade for, in my opinion, for Dakar. Now here's an interesting situation. I'm going to go ahead and stay in the doorway and just wave my sword until he turns tail. And I make sure to get my flying blow equipped, since that's going to be the most effective weapon. And I think I'm going to try to make sure to get rid of these Y-bonds, Y-bands, whatever they're called, first. Just because they're so agile, they'll probably move before anyone in my party. Or at least with the T-Rex, I'll have two characters move before he does. 1 and 2. And with that HP pad on this floor, I'd probably need to think about maybe taking some hits to try to get Salon and Maxim's IP meters back up. But I also don't want to screw around too much and take too much time. And as you can see, he's moving on my every third move. And I'm just trying to get him to face an object or obstacle like that. And you'll be seeing that strategy a lot from me in upcoming enemies that move on my third move. Especially metallic dragons, if I make it that far. This would be a good place to absorb. And there just wasn't much opportunity there for me to take any damage. And you can see there on my 6th move, he was still facing the wall, so I should still be safe to get the surprise attack on him. And I'm not going to heal Maxim quite yet, because the less health that he has, the faster he gains IP, and I think it's going to be safe for him to take at least one more hit. And who knows, Flash might heal him anyway. There's Destroy, which we might need in a pinch. Who knows, I might have to abandon my no instant death stance just to make it through, but for now we're on track. Thunder Axe. Now that's not a particularly powerful weapon, but that's going to come in very handy against the Orkies because of its IP attack, and we'll talk more about that once we get to the Orkies, which hopefully I do. Now what I was considering there is switching from the Flying Blow to the Boom Sword. But remember, the Boom Sword is Thunder Elemental, and two of the enemies in this room appear to be skulls, and Thunder Elemental completely misses skulls. I can't remember what these particular skulls' names are, not surprisingly. But I'm going to go ahead and get my Holy Whip on Salon, move her to the front row, so we can deal as much damage as possible. This is going to be kind of tricky. The problem with Hades' skulls is that they use Confubite, which confuses, or can confuse, its target, and we don't want Gyre Dakar to get confused here. I think I'm going to have Salon and Maxim hit the same target just to make sure I get rid of one of them. And that's really helpful. That's really nice. You can see they're starting with the Confubite. Final Shadow's an instant death spell that usually misses. And we actually had really good luck here. Well, I was going to stop my clip here. There's some good IP for Maxim. And I'll stop it now.